Hello, lords and ladies of the internet. I'm making a candor, and today we'll be talking about the best new sci-fi book you've never heard of, Homestead Amongst the Stars by Lex Henderson. It's currently being published chapter by chapter for free on Reading Road. I included a link below. Lex has also told me he's already got the second book complete and is finishing up the third one now. They will all eventually be for sale on Amazon, but for now you can join it for free and read the book as it's released chapter by chapter. Or buy the first book right now on Amazon. So, what is Homestead Amongst the Stars about? Well, before I get started, I want to ask you all to like and subscribe because YouTube says this is the most effective place to ask for it. Now, onto the book. Homestead Amongst the Stars is set in a genre I call aspirational sci-fi. This covers things like old Star Trek, where humanity has progressed to an amazing new height and more mundane issues are pretty much solved. Food scarcity isn't a thing, justice is equal for all, people's lives are longer and more fulfilling, all within the main group of society, think the Federation. Now, this doesn't mean there aren't any issues in society, but the people of the Federation are well paid and lead long, healthy, fulfilling lives. Homestead Amongst the Stars is like this, with amazing technology that does wondrous things and allows us to explore some of the deeper questions that humanity struggles with even to this day. So what is Homestead Among the Stars actually about? It follows two stories, which start out different but eventually connect, and I don't want to spoil how. The first is the tale of Marissa, a post-human. Post-humans are the genetically modified humans I mentioned earlier, and Marissa was supposed to be a colonist for a new world. Her colonial ship is attacked, and she's sent to a nearby system to ask for help. Unfortunately, something went wrong. I won't spoil it anymore here, as her story is very interesting, and that's where a lot of the intrigue has been so far. Also, she so far has grappled with the more interesting philosophical questions that I think set this story apart from other, more mundane sci-fi I've read. The second story follows Taran, a mercenary hired by the Infinitech Corporation. Infinitech is the one who funded the colonization effort that Marissa was on, the one that failed. They hired Taran to look into the colony's disappearance and recover what he can from their investment. Taran also has a crew of post-humans with a variety of personalities that engage in interesting ways. The two brothers always gambling and betting on everything stood out as characters I really enjoyed and thought they had a fun dynamic. So Homestead also has some very interesting themes and ideas it tackles. I will try to speak without spoiling too much here, but if you're already interested, go in the description, click the link, and read the book. There is a theme here which I'm not sure is intentional, the importance of access to technology. There's a specific character I'm thinking about who comes from a less advanced region of space. This character eventually enters a more advanced region, and the person who helps them do so also pays for this character to be given the needed training and implants. The access to technology allows this character to go from useless and barely scraping by to a full member of society and a helpful one. There are other instances which talk about this theme, but they're spoilers and I don't really want to tell you about them. Just go read the book. Now, this is something I actually think about very often, since in our own world, giving technology to underdeveloped peoples has a massive benefit. For example, in many African nations, Facebook gave out free phones that had Facebook downloaded on them. Regardless of their intention, the result was everyone who had a phone was able to improve their lives dramatically. Here's an example. If you are a wheat farmer and wheat gets $2 a bushel in a village 6 miles to the west, you can make a profit. But you check your phone and find the village 6 miles to the east is buying the same wheat for $4 a bushel. You now go east and double your money. With these extra funds, you check your Facebook marketplace and see your neighbor is selling his old bicycle. He bought a motorcycle, so he doesn't need the bicycle anymore. You take your profits and then buy the bike, allowing you to travel with larger loads and go to places quicker. Eventually, though, your bike breaks, so you look online and find a video on basic bike repairs, which lets you repair the bike for cheap. All of this from technology and the access to information. Seeing how much this benefits people, should we not be providing these new technologies to people? What about drought-resistant plants that we make with bioengineering? Shouldn't we give them to these farmers to help improve their food yields? This entire subject is explored in Homestead, and I find it fascinating to consider since this question is barely being asked in modern society. Something I find personally fascinating is how Lex uses the advanced sci-fi to its fullest advantage. In Homestead Amongst the Stars, technology has advanced wildly from our own, in a logical yet still exciting way. Illness and disease have been mostly wiped out. Humans are created and they're healthy and strong. The average height is 7 foot and everyone looks like a Giga Chad. The computer that you have implemented in your brain keeps a recording of your life, and if you die, you can be reincarnated into a new body for a fee. Injuries such as having a limb torn off can be easily fixed with integrated technology that also make you better at everything. You can send messages with your minds, and you have an AI built inside your brain to help. You'll never have to forget a birthday again, or who's married who. There are even some more awesome features that they have, but they're plot relevant, and I don't want to get into spoilers here. I'm just trying to get you excited about the world. Homestead Amongst the Stars is set within the Starsea setting, which Lex has told me is for this series, the trilogy, as well as a tabletop game he's making. The tabletop game is very far along in development, and some of the images you've seen throughout this video are pieces of concept art he shared with me. The system is pretty robust from what I've seen of it though, and it's very cool. The freedom in his system is something I was astonished by. You can do so much. One specific thing I really like is he has race building rules. It's a clean, simple way to build races, and because the setting has gene modification, it even has rules to allow you to graft other races' abilities onto yours after character creation. So in theory, you could play a human with an alligator mouth. Now, these rules are pretty cool, and he's also got a really in-depth armor system with some of the wildest combat mechanics I've ever seen. It's pretty overwhelming how much you can do for it, but once you start playing it and get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. On a personal note, I really like this book. I haven't been this excited about sci-fi in a while. Sci-fi lately has felt so dystopian and grungy. I don't want to live in any of these futures, and all the characters feel like they're written with modern sensibilities instead of speaking to a timeless persona. It's quite annoying whenever a society, which is clearly post-racial with how integrated everybody is, still is dealing with basic racism and not even interspecies racism. I also find the fact that some places like modern Star Trek have plots about income inequality when they have fabricators that can create everything. It doesn't seem to flow logically, and this book doesn't have any of those issues, thankfully. It feels great to root for characters again, also. I want them to succeed, and I hope for their survival. There's not a whole bunch of gray, immoral jerks who constantly screw each other over or have hidden agendas and hidden allegiances. No. Well, there's some of that. It's a story still, but the idea is the heroes are heroic still, even if they stumble sometimes. I also don't get the sense that the book has a message or is preaching anything outside of a vague anti-fascist ideal, which I can't explain more without spoilers. But, like I previously mentioned, I don't feel like I'm being pushed a message or goal. It's nice to be able to have questions posed and ideas asked, with me as an audience member being smart enough to discern for myself whether they're right and wrong. Obviously, the author has some bent of his own, but he presents them in a good enough way that Lex likes you to think about it. I will definitely be checking this book out. I've already placed my pre-order for it. Now, below I'll have a purchase link for you, since it'll be released the same day this video is out. The book is fantastic, and I can't wait to read more stuff set in Starsea. I highly recommend that everyone go check out Homestead Amongst the Stars by Lex Henderson. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this far. If you enjoyed the content, I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. I'm looking forward to your candor in the comments below, and have a great day. Also, I just want to say, congratulations, Lex. I'm proud of you, brother.